Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, as well as the vast majority of crypto and finance. And with that being said, let's just dive on in and let's start off with this post here from XRP Drops. This is also quoting Trango, because Trango did talk about traditional payments and how they are slowing down and e-transactions are increasing more than ever. All signs point to Malaysia becoming a contactless society sooner than expected. Now, beyond this, right, we do see XRP Drops responding, quoting it and saying, Malaysia FinTech Report, October of this year, Trango connects your business to the world via Ripple's on-demand liquidity. And this is huge to mention because, listen, for those out there that are wondering, where the hell is all the XRP use case potential, right? Here it is. Right? Trango is already tapped in through on-demand liquidity. When you see 11 million transactions in 2022, over $3 billion processed in 2022. This is small figures, by the way. This is not going to directly impact the price of XRP because we do know that XRP has trading volumes worth billions of dollars every single day and every single week. So we know that this is not going to immediately impact the price. But when you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 billion plus being processed, then we start to kind of see a little bit of an impact. But I look forward to seeing the days where we are seeing trillions of dollars being processed per year through Ripple and XRP. We see 80% real-time payments bridging financial borders across 70 plus countries. And check this out, Trango connects your business to the world. Trango is a leading B2B cross-border payment hub on a mission to create a world where payments are inclusive and accessible. Thousands of leading financial services providers like Ripple, TNG Digital, BigPay, and Singtel Dash leverage our solutions and network to transact. Over 260 strong workforce provides global support from offices in Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, the UK, and the UAE. In 2022, we helped bridge financial borders across 70 plus countries, culminating in these milestones: 80% real-time payments, over $3 billion processed, 11 million transactions. And we do see Trango Connect. Here is where you can see real-time payments, increased working capital with Ripple's on-demand liquidity, single API connection, 5,000 plus payout partners in 70 plus countries, Swift payout supported as well. And we do see Trango Recharge at the bottom there as well. Connect is where Ripple really kind of gets tapped into. Recharge, I'm not sure if Ripple has any ties to Recharge, but we do know that they are working within Trango Connect, which is the big one. But beyond this, right, what I really want to talk to you guys about as well is on-demand liquidity itself. We actually seen a little bit of an insight from Flash Payments, Flash FX, which we talked about just recently. Shout out to Flip the Chain for this. The CEO recently talked about consumers are open or asking about what are the Ripple on-demand liquidity currency destinations that are open and what are the next ones. They can't wait. They are banks, businesses, payment gateways. This will help in competing. Check this out.
Our customers, even this morning after all the announcement and everything is kind of, how many ODL currency destinations are open, what are the next ones, and they can't wait. That these are consumers, these are business. We have other third-party, banks or payment gateways. It's kind of look, yes, we want this solution. Let's open up more ODL destinations as soon as possible, because that's really going to be the difference for us in competing with an existing market.
And also beyond this, we already know that on-demand liquidity volumes have been surging lately. We know this because of the recent reports. I mean, hell, go all the way back, go back here to April 5th of this year, where Ripple transacted $3.3 billion between Mexico and US with Bitso using XRP. Which, by the way, Bitso is an on-demand liquidity live exchange, which has been utilizing on-demand liquidity for a while. They have become a prominent name behind on-demand liquidity volumes since going way back to, I want to say, 2019. And we even do see here, like, the US-Mexico corridor sees tens of billions of dollars in payments every single year, remittances, treasury, you name it. And last year, Bitso processed $3.3 billion of that through crypto with Ripple and others. This is real world utility. Outside of that, we also seen this as well, which was XRP sees explosive 700% surge in fund inflows while Ripple payments gains traction. And this was from just recently, September 25th. And this isn't with Bitso. This is actually with Bitstamp. But Bitstamp and Bitso are two major players behind XRP on-demand liquidity transactions and also inflows. They are leaders behind this, and we already know how much they have been moving because everything is very transparent. And there has been quite a bit of XRP on the move in the last couple months and this year alone. But the reason why I bring this up is because, well, here we have Bitso. Using on-demand liquidity has been a game changer. Once you test it, I am the biggest fan of on-demand liquidity. You could see money moving so fast and cost you only cents. Partnership with Ripple is so important. Thinking of expanding together in the region is quite important.
And using ODL for me as a customer has been game changer. Once you test it, I always say that I'm the biggest fan of ODL because nobody's telling me these stories. Like, I've done that myself and I've been benefited from it. You see the two screens and you see how money travels so fast, and then within the minute you have the money that you want to transfer that you were used to transferring in a week-long process, and now it costs you cents on the dollar, and it's so immediate. So from a customer perspective, it has been a wonderful experience. And for us, the partnership with Ripple, from the business perspective, is just so important and is such a key part of our business today. And we are truly thinking of expanding together into the region.
And again, this is the viewpoint of tapping into blockchain, right? Once you tap into blockchain and you see how fast things really work, that's it. That solidifies it. And I've said this 100 times. When you look into the efficiencies versus the traditional world of finance, we already know the traditional world of finance is outdated. And we know that all of that money in the traditional world will soon flow over to this space. And remember, Bitso, they've been tapped in since 2019. We know this. And they have massive amounts of money moving through their remittance flows. So today, more than ever, we know that they are moving a lot more money. But also, Bitso became Latin America's first DLT licensed exchange that was regulated by the GFSC. And with this license, Bitso was actually poised to be one of the most innovative and consumer-friendly financial services providers in LATAM. And we know today that Bitso has become a huge leader behind exchange services as well. We know that they are number 44, which isn't a major, it's not like it's top 10, top 15, but it's still significant to understand that Bitso is moving well over $39 million in a 24-hour trading volume. And also, they have over 170,000 plus weekly visits. And for crypto to have basically zero interest behind it right now, that's significant to mention. But beyond this, one of the biggest things that I see behind these on-demand liquidity services is the fact that as we start to see more of these tapped in, and as we start to see more and more expansion on the forefront of, for an example, Trango, we can see the volume behind XRP picking up. And when you start to see that volume picking up through on-demand liquidity, you start to see a lot more demand. When you mix in that demand and you have the supply that XRP does have, well, guess what? Now you're starting to see value increasing dramatically. And outside of this, we already know that Trango has expanded the reach of Ripple and on-demand liquidity for a while now. Going all the way back to 2022 is when we've seen this big announcement of on-demand liquidity being enabled in 25 payment corridors. And a lot of these corridors are very, very large, high value movers. And I'm very excited to start to see a lot of this come to fruition around, on-demand liquidity being tapped in on, a massive scale, because it's starting slowly. We haven't seen mass adoption just yet, but we already know that Trango is a great example of a domino effect, because since Ripple really kind of acquired 40% stake in Trango, it's been nonstop growth. And they even did spotlight, which I did announce in a video recently, a 1,700% overall gain and growth rate of their payment volumes because of on-demand liquidity. Now, outside of this, what gets me very excited about this is these companies seeing the value behind on-demand liquidity, seeing how fast the technology is, and how these major players like banks, businesses, payment gateways, how they can't wait. Because we know, going back in time, I don't know if these figures are fully accurate today, but we do know that it was estimated that SWIFT was moving about roughly $5 trillion per day in fund movement. That is a significant amount of money. Now, it wouldn't surprise me considering the fact that SWIFT does have 11,000 major financial institutions tied to its network. We know that at some point in time, Ripple did have over 300 plus. I would love to know how many are behind Ripple in terms of like an NDA. But beyond that, we know that SWIFT has become very antiquated technology. Now, they are trying to embrace blockchain technology, but I still think that they are probably years out. And even then, what are they going to utilize in order to settle things the way that Ripple settles, things with XRP? Meaning, where's the bridge currency coming into place around SWIFT? But the reason why I bring this up is because this is $5 trillion per day. That is a very significant amount, especially when you put into perspective, like, Trango is moving about $3 billion a year. This is droplets of water in a bucket. But we know from an ECB report, they were talking about towards the Holy Grail of cross-border payments. And you don't have to scroll too far. I mean, this is a massive breakdown. I mean, if you look at this is well over, 50 plus pages of documents. All you have to do is go to the first, page here, the abstract, breaking things down. And this is where we see the Holy Grail of cross-border payments is a solution allowing cross-border payments to be immediate, cheap, universal, and settled in a secure settlement medium. The search for such a solution is as old as international commerce and the implied need to pay. This paper describes current visions, how to eventually find this Holy Grail within the next decade, namely through modernized correspondent banking, emerging cross-border fintech solutions, Bitcoin, global stablecoins, interlinked instant payment systems with FX conversion layer, interlinked CBDC with FX conversion layer. For each settlement mechanisms are explained and an assessment is provided on its potential to be the Holy Grail of cross-border payments. Now, within this, when you actually read upon within this whole report, they don't really come to a major conclusion behind if one of these are the Holy Grail, but we do know from major videos regarding the IMF and banking elites, they have talked about the Holy Grail being an asset that could settle pretty much anything, aka be a bridge currency in a decentralized manner. But also we do know from a World Bank document, which I'm sure that you guys are all aware of at this current moment in time, that XRP and XLM are the only two actual currencies mentioned as stablecoins for cross-border payments within this report. And this is all from the World Bank. Now, again, we don't know if XRP is the Holy Grail, but in my opinion, from what we have seen, from all the testing, from all the major players, from all the documentation that we do have, I think that's a pretty good bet to say that XRP could very well be the Holy Grail, and XRP is the Holy Grail. But again, that's me speculating. I could very well be wrong, but we do know things are changing, and we know that SWIFT is changing. We know that the entire financial system is undergoing a massive change, and I do think that DLT and blockchain is at the forefront of that. I also think that it would be ignorant of us to ignore the amount of growth that we are seeing on the on-demand liquidity side of things outside of these documents. The proof is there, right? We are seeing major growth on the on-demand liquidity side of things. And I think that this is only going to continue to increase. I think that the demand is extremely large around instant payments and also on-demand liquidity, because again, right now, liquidity around the world is extremely constricted. So liquidity is a big focus point right now, especially even from the institutional side of things. But I think that this is something that we need to look into. I think that demand is there. I think that demand is only going to continue to grow. And guess what's not growing? The supply of XRP. So as we start to see a lot more demand on the ODL side of things, that's going to create a massive floor of XRP. And with that floor and with the demand of the retail sector and institutions and the XRP ledger, I really do think that XRP is poised for major adoption and major valuation changes as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord on the description below. And with that being said, guys, this has been Nick. Peace out.